This is a stitch that is easy to do. It is called the running stitch, and it is composed of Tunisian crochet simple stitches and slip stitches. It differs from the simple stitch in that the vertical bars are offset and the fabric produced is much thicker, and also it tends to curl rather more, but it is a great fabric for incorporating into a beanie. The first thing to do is create a foundation chain, and an even number of stitches is required, and this stitch is a 2-row repeat. For this swatch I'm chaining 10 to create a Tunisian foundation row, and the link to the video about how to do that is above. At the end of the return pass there will be one loop left on the hook, and this counts as the first stitch for the forward pass. The slip stitch is created simply by pushing the hook behind the front vertical bar of this second stitch and not working it. Now push the hook through the third vertical bar, yarn over and pull up a loop, and this is a Tunisian simple stitch. And now another slip stitch, just push the hook under the or behind the front vertical bar without working it, and now for a simple stitch push the hook on behind the vertical bar, yarn over and pull up a loop, and continue this process until the second to last stitch, which will be a simple stitch. And then for the very last stitch of the row, push the hook in the space marked by the stitch marker. There will then be 10 loops on the hook. And now chain 1, and as always I like to mark the space for the end of the next forward pass, and just do a normal Tunisian crochet return pass. The second stitch for this row will be a simple stitch, because the first one, or the second stitch of the previous row was a slip stitch. Now do a slip stitch, and now a simple stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, now a slip stitch, etc. You'll notice that I'm actually struggling to get my hook through the stitch, and that is characteristic of the running stitch. So to create a rather looser fabric, it can be a good idea to use an even larger Tunisian crochet hook. The second to last stitch is a slip stitch, so I push the hook behind the vertical bar without working it, and now push the hook through the space that has been marked. And for the next return pass, chain 1, mark the stitch and do a normal return pass, and so on. So this will build a fabric where the stitches on the horizontal rows are alternate slip stitches and simple stitches, and on the vertical rows alternate slip stitches and simple stitches, and this produces the attractive appearance of the offset vertical bars at the front of the fabric. And here it is, a nice swatch of thick fabric with a lovely stitch pattern, and this is the Tunisian crochet running stitch.